Hi, welcome to OverTake. My name is Zurman, and I'm proud to report that I'm going to be the future lead host of OverTake GG. First of all, a massive thank you to the entire team at Freaks4U and OverTake for the very warm reception. I can't wait to join them over in Berlin to hopefully take this program to all new heights in 2022. If you're not familiar with who I am and what I've done, that's completely fine. Just take the link to the channel of my namesake, wherever the guys decide to put it around the frame, and you'll get familiar with the stuff I've done in the past, and hopefully some of the new content we'll be introducing to OverTake in the new year. But for the time being, let's introduce the guy that actually hired me. Oh, ladies and gents, we are on the Horn, transatlantically, transpacifically, whatever the ocean is that separates us. I'm basically in a crazy Wreckfest server, just because we're hardcore sim racers, here with my future boss, René Buttler. Renee, how are you doing over there in Germany?
I'm doing alright. I mean, this time we went for an Australian server, so I'm the one with the warning high ping message on screen, but I'm second.
Oh, good. How are you feeling about that input lag? Have you experienced anything like that before?
I think in my age, it's basically exactly how fast I can react, so sounds fair.
Wonderful. So I would imagine the people probably want to understand what all of this means, and, you know, other than the fact that we're here in the sim racing channel driving in Wreckfest for our first ever introductory video, can you explain to them what all of this means? Like, when were you hired? Why were you hired? Why in the hell did you bring me on board?
Yeah, I mean, I started work for OverTake this summer, actually. I think my first video appearance, besides being a guest previously, was the Sim Racing Expo. So in case you checked out that video, thanks. I was there, quite happy. Normally I take care about the product, so product strategy, and basically the evolution of OverTake, right? I try to make it the best it can be, and one of the pillars of my new strategy was, let's bring this weird Australian guy into it, because I really like the video style, and we know each other, right? Like, we've raced together in sim racing already. We did some other fun activities, yeah, so that was the base idea, I would say, bringing you in.
Well, that's a very novel idea, giving a completely unknown guy his shot in the big city. That's much appreciated. Certainly, when the offer first came through, and you phrased it in the sense of, "Hey, Ermin, would you like to leave behind what you've grown for the last year and a half to come grow a much smaller channel?" My initial answer was, "No, I might pass on that." But then you said, "I'm going to fly you to Berlin," and I was, of course, like, "Okay, cool. When do we start?" So here we are.
Dude, I do motorsport in real life, but that doesn't mean I'm not broke.
Excellent.
I came second, by the way.
I noticed.
Oh,
I was
so
about
talented.
I was about to bump draft you in my motorized toilet, which is what I'm driving right now. Except I just kind of got exploded and flew out. So no, I think we're starting strong. This is definitely a taste of what's to come, ladies and gents. This is the kind of hardcore sim racing we have in store for all of you. To get fully serious here now that my unfortunate toilet run has ended, it's kind of amazing the idea of being able to work with a team for the first time ever. I was kind of hamstrung by the fact that on my own channel, in case you guys don't know me, Ermin Hamidovic, my namesake, is my actual channel, or my old channel. I did everything myself. And the problem about doing everything myself is that you eventually kind of hit a constriction point. You can't do all the ideas that you have. You know, you can't not burn out, basically, is what I'm saying. So having other people to kind of share the load with, people that are excited and passionate about sim racing, is very, very exciting, genuinely. Well, I apologize to whoever's editing this after the fact. I hope this works out as I intended.
Hi, post-production Joe here. It did not.
You're welcome, man. I mean, I'm happy that you joined the team. I think we can do some really cool stuff at OverTake. Obviously, we're all about sim racing. The explanation for why this is not a sim racing title we're playing, because the team said, "Hey, Renee and Ermin, how about you guys facing off in a sim, preferably on the Nordschleife, because we all love that track, right? And it always looks good on a screen. And then we see who's the quickest at the Nordschleife." And then we discussed for hours which game that would be, like which sim that should be, and which one would be fair, right? Because I obviously worked at Alphacker 2 previously, and we can't do ACC, right? Because there's no Nordschleife in it, so we would need to go down to AC. And then we realized that we're way too competitive to agree on a title to really see who's the quickest. And Ermin kind of knows that I'm the quickest anyway after he raced the 24 hours of Nürburgring with me previously, and he smashed the class leader and basically got everyone on the internet to hate him. We went with Wreckfest because none of us knew what to do there, and I think that shows without driving.
I think what Renee is trying to say is that in order to handicap myself of being so much faster than him, I'm actually driving a motorized porta potty right now and I'm managing to win in this race. So we had to find the right handicap here. I think the important thing was that we need equal opportunity racing for people at all skill levels, those with single-digit IQs as well as those who are absolute genius natural talent racers. So that's what OverTake is all about, I think. It's all about equal opportunity for all racers. What do you say, Renee?
I mean, you have chosen toilet, not me, just to make that clear. And currently I'm 7th out of 7th.
It's a statement of intent, Renee. It's so we know that the most famous sim racer in the world is a shed dweller. I am now a toilet dweller, and I think it's my statement of intent that I intend to be the greatest toilet dweller that there ever was.
That makes a ton of sense. Maybe since there might even people not knowing me, not knowing you, right? Because if they didn't watch the video of Sim Racing Expo, they never saw me, and if they didn't watch your channel, then they never saw you. So let's go through a few things. Ermin, let's start off with your name and your age and where you come from. I mean, we already said Australia, but give us the full story.
Okay, sure. My name is Ermin Hamidovic. I was originally born in Bosnia-Herzegovina and spent a little while in Germany in the 90s, actually in Berlin, where I'm flying back to. It's almost like they knew. So I lived there during the heyday, the club music heyday of the 90s, where things were very crazy and kind of awesome. Then I came to Australia and kind of grew up for most of my life here, hence my glorious, beautiful, wonderful accent that I get to share with all of you from here on out. And yeah, that about describes me. I became a sound engineer, a world-famous record producer. Not really. I was more like just a pleb that worked behind the glass and got the chance to work on some very cool records with some very cool people. And come the global lockdowns, I decided to keep myself sane by starting a channel about one of my biggest hobbies, which was sim racing. And somehow that turned into this right here, this situation that you're witnessing. So, you know, never say never. If you put your mind to something, if you do it as hard as you can for a year and a half, you too can be here driving a virtual porta potty against someone on the other side of the globe.
Right? He does videos of himself playing keyboard, and I think he plays folklore songs.
Renee, how about you introduce yourself now that we've gone through me?
Okay, my name is René Buttler. Many people say Butler, just like Ermin. By now, since I'm 33 years old, I don't care anymore. Happens so often. I can't be bothered. And yeah, besides doing project management, not product management, that's completely different. Here for OverTake, I worked at Studio 397 previously as the business manager, so I worked in R-Factor 2. And before that, I worked as an esports organizer in the name of ESL, as a publisher sales manager, and I spent more than 15 years now in sim racing and the business around it. Ermin, right? Oh, I just spun around. That doesn't look good.
Geez, Renee, one would wonder if somebody, like, if you ever get tired of talking about yourself, mate. I mean, this is quite a... Oh,
really?
Hey, that's a nice spin there.
Did you just spin me around?
That was not me. That was 40-minute kebab, I'll have you know. Congratulations on your highly professional credits that make me seem like a pleb. It's very, very nice to hear that at the very least...
I had to score with something.
The product, well, I mean, if you're being beaten by a guy that's on a motorized, like, lawnmower, like a racing lawnmower, then, yeah, you've probably you need something other than your racing abilities to speak for you, don't you?
Man, first of all, I got the high ping now because we went for an Australian server, so I can use the excuse now, and second, that's probably a Honda lawnmower, and they're quite quick.
Yeah, I would pay that. This thing is remarkably good. I just wish I could get my guy to duck so I get better aero characteristics.
Yeah, like karting, right? Where you duck on the main straight
and shift the body around. But yeah, that is quite a remarkable set of credits. So you've definitely been well immersed in the world of esports and casting for quite a while now. So I guess this job is a fairly, natural extension for you of your trajectory in the industry. And how far away do you live from the Nordschleife again?
It's now 20 minutes of the Nordschleife. Before that was 8 minutes.
Sounds like you really didn't think this through, mate. I mean, why would you ever move further away?
Because there was more space on the driveway for more cars.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense, right?
Okay, I'll pay that. That's reasonable.
You see?
Well, I say we have all the right ingredients and all the makings for a real team. I wish we got the rest of the team in for this Wreckfest race. I wish that they had the cojones to face us off in this mortal deathmatch of a lawnmower powered fury that we're experiencing right here.
You know what? Challenge accepted. Bring it on, Erms.
How am I first, Renee? What in the hell is going on? I just realized. I just looked at the positions.
You're winning, right? Yeah, you're winning. I'm 6th. I can't get the car straight running.
This is why I was telling you we should not do a full racetrack. Once I get like going, mate, I will just dominate. I will dominate all racing. You're gonna watch the new Kevin Estra in the making the moment you get me down to the Nordschleife.
I mean, you're definitely as often off track as he is. That's true. Not as quick though. Okay, why do you love sim racing?
Cool. Man, why do I love sim racing? That's a pretty loaded question. It's a really good one. I only really got into it with the release of Dirt Rally. Like I said, I was only really into rally racing, and between Colin McRae Rally, the old Dirt games, and Dirt Rally, there wasn't really anything other than Richard Burns, which I'd never played, never heard of, so I didn't know.
It was so good, man.
Isn't it still good, technically, according to everyone?
Yeah, it's still great. It's still great.
All right, well, there's more content for us to feature. Hyper popular Dirt Rally sims from yesteryear. But anyway, so yeah, I actually got my first wheel, a Logitech G27, to drive in Dirt Rally 1. And as much as it was broken and that wheel sucked in every conceivable way and wanted to make me end myself and set it on fire, I actually had a remarkable amount of fun for the 5 minutes at a time that it worked correctly. So I kind of got bitten by the sim racing bug then. Upgraded to a Thrustmaster T248 RS with the, TH8A shifter, all that good stuff. And yeah, everything else has been history. I kind of worked my way up to Assetto Corsa, went from Assetto Corsa to R-Factor, and it was only when I went to R-Factor that I went, oh my god, tires, oh my life has been changed forever, I feel rubber. And yeah, that's kind of the end of it all. I fell in love with it whole, like head over heel, as they say here, as old Smidgy smashes me into a wall with my tiny little RC car. And yeah, that about, I think, answers the question, I think. Not that I've forgotten what the question is. How about you, Renee? Same back at you.
Because you don't know what it is anymore.
Yes, that's a great interview tactic. Sorry, that's a wonderful interview tactic I want you to know for when we run Nitro Nights together.
Oh yeah, easy, right? That will be super simple. No, why do I love sim racing? I mean, obviously, like most of the kids, I grew up in Germany with seeing Michael Schumacher winning races, right, in Formula 1. So it wasn't the cars. I did a bit of karting, but I'm not coming from a motorsport family. So karting was, like, retro cars was everything I ever had back then. And I wanted to do that more and wanted to do virtual, right? Because Need for Speed came out back then, which was great. Racing around with an RX-7 or the Supra back then in the original game. And from there on, I just really enjoyed it because it was so competitive. Like, I also play Counter-Strike a lot, and I play Call of Duty competitive and even Battlefield, which is fun, but it wasn't the same as this awesome feeling of doing a wheel-to-wheel racing for 4 laps for the win of a big race. And that totally catched me. I mean, my first steering wheel was, I think, I hope that's correct, the Cytec R330. It's like a bit F1 shaped. And from there on, I went to the Microsoft Sidewinder, and then the Logitech Momo Force, and then came the Logitech G25. Yeah, from there on, the typical steering wheels that everyone else used, I would say.
That's it really marks a very different trajectory through the industry for us, doesn't it? That your, 4th or 5th wheel was still a generation earlier than my first wheel.
I'm still not better than you, that's the issue here, right? I mean, I'm leading at least.
I think you are in this race. You appear to be first, whereas my lawnmower engine in an RC car doesn't appear to be able to keep up in this race, go figure.
And that with all the input lag that you're always crying about.
Yes, with all the input lag. But that's actually, you did remind me with the karting story, so I think as a kid, I knew I just didn't have the funds to go racing. I mean, I came from a refugee family, basically, so I'm just like, well, there's no chance this is ever going to happen. So I think I only ever really lived through it in video games casually, and I kind of shelved that ambition. I'm like, well, it's never going to happen. But then as I kind of became an adult and, inadvertently succeeded in the audio industry, I'm like, hey, hey, it turns out if you have money, you can actually do some of this stuff even if you're old. So you're my ticket to that, Renee. You're my gateway. You know, I am the money and you're the portal, and we're gonna make things happen. Okay, so I figure
out. What car are you driving? Are you kidding me? What's that? That's a Supra MK3.
Yeah.
With a Beetle on top. Yeah,
Renee, man, why are you coming in with the model names? Just enjoy it for what it is. I thought you were an arcade guy. Why are you coming in with the Supra MK3 and the Beetle? And it's like it's an orange stripy boy with an older orange stripy boy on it. You know, that's how I run my channel.
I just wanted to show off that I know these guys as a mechanic.
Huh? Turns out my center of gravity isn't good.
Oh really?
Yeah,
and you couldn't see that coming.
No, I mean, I need a bit of help once I get there. I think you might need to take the reins a bit. Though I think it would be nice if you're a bit more adventurous and actually played with some of the more fun cars in Wreckfest, Renee.
I don't have them unlocked.
It's all good. Let's, you know, I feel like we've spent a nice long time indulging ourselves in our own history and all the things that I'm sure the viewers love to hear about. But how about we tell them what we've got planned for next year? What's going to happen with OverTake? In what ways is it going to change? I mean, is the arrival of the mighty Ermin Hamidovic going to be the heralding of OverTake GG as the primary force of sim racing?
Oh dear, that's exactly what it will be. Obviously, you already mentioned Nitro Nights, right? So we will change Nitro Nights. I don't tell you now what it will be, but it will be changed. It will be a different format. And it will also include basically live segments where on some of the shows we play different games. For example, we could play Live for Speed there, right? And play with the community. So we will have community nights and stuff like that. I think that's one of the biggest changes. So if you're part of the OverTake community, or you want to become part of the OverTake community, then definitely follow us and be part of those races. We will have giveaways for that. We will have prizes for our small little tournaments, right? There's a big tournament coming up now, more on the entertainment side, very, very soon. So definitely wait for that one, because that will be amazing, I can tell you that. And I think even Ermin will be involved in that, maybe because we can't keep him away from all of the cool stuff. He always dreams for it. And yeah, I just think that Nitro Nights will probably be one of the biggest changes. And everything else is obviously diving even deeper into sim racing, into guides, into opinion pieces, right? We're a channel like all the other sim racing channels. Right? That does sound pretty bad now, right? But in terms of, we're not here to promote a product or whatsoever on OverTake. We want to enjoy sim racing with everyone out there, and we want to discuss sim racing, right? We want to hear opinions about sim racing titles, about updates, and we want to discuss that between our team, between us and the community. And yeah, basically tell you guys out there what's cool and what might not be that cool right now and what needs a bit of improvement.
But are you saying that the change of Nitro Nights, is that going to include wiping my amazing Rocket League time off the board? The one where I came second to Emily Jones only by like 0.03 of a second? Yeah,
so basically we analyzed your videos afterwards, like the videos on your own channel, and we realized you got a massive ego after it. So we need to get rid of it basically to make sure that you can actually work with the team on it.
Ah. Well, you know, we all make sacrifices for this, you know. I think we all knew that everybody has to compromise a bit, so I meet in the middle. And, you know, if the ego's got to go down just a fractional amount, I guess this is something that can be done. Maybe I might even take this opportunity not to antagonize half the sim racing developers this time around. I think potentially our bosses might be pretty happy about that. Excellent. I'm not sure if there's much to say, but maybe you guys would want to jump after this to like a segment where you kind of sign it off, or somebody in the studio signs it off, or whatever you want to do. Maybe do like a B-roll footage segment where you know there's a voiceover or something like that.
So they didn't do an outro. What did I expect? If you need more sim racing action right now, go and visit overtake.gg, and don't forget to get yourself subscribed to this channel for more videos with Ermin and of course also with Renee. On the top right you can find my Thrustmaster T248 review, and underneath there's something just for you. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next time around. Cheers!